Well, hello and welcome. Welcome back to DAiLY. Things look different, they sound different. Little intro. Check this out. It's getting a little bit more production value, if you will. Actually, I think I could take my headphones off. There we go. Now I can hear myself talking. I'm still figuring out all of the different equipments and softwares and all the fun stuff for podcasting, but I hope that you are having a great start to your week. Well, this comes out on Tuesday mornings if you are unfamiliar. Tuesdays at 7, except for the days when I miss Tuesdays at 7, which has only happened once so far, so that's pretty good. Yes, if you are watching videos, the video version of this, which right now videos are available on YouTube and Spotify. Sorry for the Apple people, still figuring out how to get everything uploaded all at once and at the same time and stuff. So bear with me while I figure this all out. If you are new here, my name is Danny, and this is DAiLY, the show where we cover AI for the daily person. And today we're going to talk about what is generative AI or Gen AI. You may have heard that term thrown around once or twice. In fact, the image that you're seeing to my right here, that was generated with ChatGPT. I told it to make a robot director, like a 1920s film director, and there he is. I don't know. He's reading a book. I guess maybe he's studying for how to shoot a movie or something. But we're going to watch some fun videos today. I'm going to show some examples of videos generated with AI and some of the leading companies, some of the ones that I am more familiar with. And this topic is really important to me because I work as a video editor and a motion graphics designer. So a lot of the generative AI video examples sometimes make me nervous, and then other times I'm like, well, it is what it is, and you just got to learn how to use it, and it's just going to be another tool, along with, say, like Adobe editing software or, some of the other, like Canva, for example. Today I have no notes, no script, we're going to try not to, we're just winging it. So I was really excited to test out the new setup and stuff we have. I have the webcam is going. I think that this looks pretty clean, and of course I'll be making changes as we go. As always, we were joined by our co-host Nova, and I have a fun little sound effect here to introduce Nova. Hopefully this plays as I intend it to.
Nova Online.
It's kind of cool. And then screen. Hey, there we go. And Nova got an upgrade. She has a picture there. I just asked, can you generate a selfie, basically, an image. Now I think that the image that it generated, it kind of looks like, if you're familiar with the Halo video game series, Cortana. She's like an AI character. So that's what it kind of looks like. So I don't think that it's, in the deep mind of ChatGPT generating some image of what it thinks it looks like, because I've asked it to do that a couple times, generate an image based on, what you think you look like. And the first one was kind of like, I guess it kind of looked more like manly, and it was bald. So I just needed a background, a picture to put there, and that's what it is. So let's just jump right into what this is. So generative AI is content that is generated by an AI model. These things could be videos, they could be pictures, audio, like voiceovers. Fun fact, actually, if you're ever watching, I think it's on Fox, but there's an ad for, it's the Digging Deep podcast. That's a podcast with a bunch of retired and current baseball players. Their commercial that they run, the voiceover is AI. And I know that because on Envato Elements, which is a software or a website that I use for work, They house a lot of stock like videos and photos and things like that. So say if I need a video of like San Francisco from a helicopter, right? Well, I can search online and then it would, I could find the right clip. I download that. What's making things different now on Envato and Adobe and all these other ones, if you type in that San Francisco, helicopter video, there's a good chance that it's no longer somebody actually filming from a helicopter. It's all computer generated. Sometimes it works. It works in my specific use case in my work. I like to do that stuff as almost like a placeholder or as like testing a concept and saying, okay, is this going to look good or am I just like not, is this not going to look good? And it's much easier to do that if it's just generated with AI versus actually having somebody go out there and film in a helicopter and then say like, oh, I don't like that, which that's kind of the old way of doing it. But anyway, um, generative AI, multiple different, could be photos, could be videos. This topic is really important to me because it directly affects my work and you as somebody, as a consumer, for example, that digging deep podcasts, like commercial voiceover. If you were unfamiliar or if you didn't know that AI could do voiceovers, you might not have any idea. Um, and I'm not sponsored by. I literally have no sponsors other than, I guess, my family and friends who watch this. So, any of the things that I talk about today, I'm not being paid to talk about them. I'm not making any money at all. So, at least not yet. Hopefully, maybe one day we can start getting some sponsors and we could do more fun things with this show. But for now, it's just me balling on a budget. um, yeah, generative AI, it's going to be a problem. It kind of already, like, it's not there yet. And with this show, I'm never trying to, create some sort of like, I don't want you to feel uneasy about AI. I don't want you to feel like threatened by it. There's a million posts of people saying, it's over. It's literally over. Your job is stupid and not important. Just AI is going to take over everything. I don't think that that's what it's going to be, especially in the creative world. I think the way that we work is going to change. The type of work that we do is going to change, and it's not necessarily the end. There's always, I think, in every generation, there has always been somebody, the guy on the side of the street with the sign, the end is nigh, that has happened all the time. Keeping with the same like baseball example, I remember seeing, I think it was on Twitter, a post where someone found all of these newspaper clippings from like all the way as far back as like 1840. And these newspaper clippings, each of them said some version of the effect of baseball is dead, what happened to the game I love, and this is a conversation that every year I see, on ESPN or Twitter. It's like the game is ruined. All these young people aren't playing the game I wish the game I grew up with. Same could be said in some cases about generative AI and working with AI. Will you continue to have to manually update Excel spreadsheets forever? Probably not. Like there's already AI agents and AI software that can take data and throw them in a spreadsheet for you. Is that a bad thing for your job? Not really. I mean, unless you really enjoy working in spreadsheets all day. But it will open up the door for more things, more productivity. On the flip side of that, jobs that are super repetitive, or if that's literally all you do all day long is just enter numbers into spreadsheets, you're gonna have to find something else. You're going to have to, as I've said before, you have to adapt. You always have to adapt with the new technology, and that's just the way the world works. So we are going to look at three. I actually have a lot of things to show you today, so I'm very excited to show them to you. And again, for people who are just listening, I strongly encourage, especially today's episode, check it out on YouTube. Check it out on, well, if you have Spotify, it'll be there as well. But YouTube's free. YouTube's great. So do that. There's going to be a lot of video and photo examples today. So I'll do my best to explain them verbally, but it's kind of hard. so um, let's just start here with arguably the one that I think this was the first generative AI, at least that I remember hearing about. What am I trying to do here? Okay, let's go full screen here. Okay, so this software is called Midjourney. And Midjourney, I remember hearing about maybe 2 years ago. It would do photos, right? That was kind of just these generative photos, and a lot of people would generate like selfies of themselves for their Instagram profile. Like I remember seeing all the trends of like, make me a medieval person, or a knight or whatever, and you would upload your photo of yourself, and then it would stylize it and then give it back to you. What Midjourney is doing now, I think you can still do that. You could still send a photo, but the name of the game now is like generative video. And we're going to take a look at a couple examples here. So this first one is totally insane. Like, okay, so I just paused it here. And for those of you who are listening, it's this extremely high quality image of like a woman's face, and she's got like rain or like water droplets on her face. There's blue eyes. It looks cold. Something that you'll notice with some of these models is like skin kind of looks a little like oily or kind of plasticky almost. And she's, I don't know, kind of moving. She's like awkward. The facial expressions are really weird. That's just, I'm gonna say that just right up front. Like some of the faces that it makes, it's not all that accurate, at least for now. The next one that I found really weird is this like close up of somebody's mouth, and they have goldfish like swimming on their teeth, and their teeth look like glass. It's actually kind of gross now that I fully zoom in on it. Here's another one. Oh, okay. Here's one that I thought looked pretty realistic. It's like this totally could be an Adidas commercial. It's this lady. It's kind of like a medium close shot, and she's wearing like a skirt, an Adidas skirt with a tennis racket, and it has like the Adidas logo on it. Like that looks pretty realistic. Another one here is it's an exterior of a building, and it looks like almost like an illustration, like a engineering kind of CAD drawing, but it's also animated. It's moving, it's panning to the left to show more of a three-dimensional look of the building. Where was the? Oh yeah, okay, this one here. So this is like a car accident, which, if you're listening, I hope I'm doing a good job of explaining what this is. But this one is an image of the side of a car, and there's a lady, and she's in the car, and she's like shocked. Her expression is like shocked, and there's glass that's totally exploded all around. It looks like the window is broken, and there's a really bright light in the distance, and she looks like she's like in the forest and stuff. This picture, this still image, 100% could be on a movie poster. Like you absolutely could take this, download it, put some text on it, Final Destination 17 or whatever version they're on, and this would pass. Like this looks super realistic. And now, like, what's the ethical, like, some people will say it's wrong to use this image, that it's wrong to pass this off and say that you created this piece of art, right? Or like, what is art now? Is art something that only humans make? Are you making anything? Or the prompt, you are the one with the idea, you are typing and telling the computer what to generate. But if you wanted to recreate this in Photoshop, I mean, you definitely could. You would obviously need an image of a lady sitting in a car, and then like the glass effects and all that stuff, and it would take a long time. I mean, this could take a couple hours, even for some of the best designers. In doing this through Midjourney, I don't know how long this video took to generate, but I guarantee that it was faster than like if I were to go in and try to recreate something like this. The lighting looks good, the colors look good, her expression looks good, and I'll play the video here as well. This one gets really weird. It's like elements are moving that really shouldn't be moving. Her face, like, whoa, gets kind of crazy. Like, whoa, her face looks all weird. Her fingers, AI still struggles a lot with like fingers. Like her hand just like exploded. I mean, but that still looks pretty close, I guess. But still image looks pretty good. So this is Midjourney. So as I mentioned, Midjourney does. Oh yeah, here's another one that's pretty good. It's like an illustration of a dog, a little animated dog sitting on a couch or something. Um, Midjourney, from what I've seen, pretty good. They do a lot of like cinematic, stylized, illustration, kind of animated, kind of looking. The one that I'm pulling up right now looks like a chemistry, like molecules connected with one another. Like this could pass as a background image 100%. So Midjourney, that's one that you've probably heard of. One of the first generative ones, at least that I was made aware of. So next we're going to take a look at, let's go over into Veo 3. Now Veo 3, this is from Google. What makes, in my opinion, Veo 3 really interesting is that it can generate dialogue as well as the videos, of course, but like sound effects too. So Midjourney, I don't think there's any audio generation. It's the just the images. But Veo, it does. And so I'm gonna play this one. Here's an example. It's a man and a woman. They're standing at what looks like a train station. They look like spies or something. The man looks like a detective. He's wearing a collared shirt and a tie, all black, dark. The lady he's speaking with, they look kind of stressed. They're looking at their watch. She's wearing big black sunglasses and a dark overcoat. It looks cold. And there's a bunch of people walking around in the background, and there's 2 police officers standing behind them. And the prompt here is a close-up of spies exchanging information in a crowded train station, with uniformed guards patrolling nearby. The microphone is in your ticket, he murmured, pretending to check his watch. They're watching the north exit, she warned casually adjusting her scarf. So this is the prompt, and then I'm going to play it here so we can listen to the audio. I almost said so we can see the audio, but let's see what this sounds like here.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
Pretty good. Let's go over. Here's a claymation or a stop motion of a camper.
Nature would prefer some personal space.
I'm one with nature now.
Nature would prefer some personal space.
So, it's some examples. It really depends on the prompt, right? Like, but this looks like claymation. Like if I was unaware that this was made with generative AI, I would have no idea. Where it struggles, again, faces, skin kind of gets a little bit weird. This one's one of my favorites. So this is, I wonder, can I go like full screen on this guy? Maybe not. Well, it's a car, like a off-roading vehicle driving through a bunch of mud, and it's like splashing water everywhere. I mean, this totally could be a commercial for, Jeep or, one of these off-roading kind of cars and stuff. Let's hear what it sounds like. I mean, that sounds real. I mean, that, like, sound design is one of the hardest things to get right. And it's one of the first things, whenever you're watching like a low budget film, it's one of the first things that's like the telltale, like, oh, this is an amateur, movie or short, film or whatever. Audio is like, it's the number one thing that ruins it right off the bat. So Veo, this one's from Google, Google DeepMind. And I've messed around with it a little bit. A lot of people are using this to generate all kinds of social media content. There's one that I follow. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I have it on Instagram. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like it's some racetrack thing. It's all these videos are made with AI. I mean, it's totally fake. I mean, as I've been talking about the entire time. Let's see here. Sort by default, the latest followers. That's okay. So I forget what this. All these videos, they're just made up, and it's in this like dirt. Think like total hillbilly, barnyard racetrack. They've made this whole like story almost of this like fake, just whatever. Oh shoot, I don't know if I'm. Am I? Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. So the Weber Valley Speedway. You should check these guys out on Instagram. Weber Valley Speedway. All the videos are fake. And it's their caption is good old dirt track located in Tennessee racing every week where the real racers come to race. We put the clay in Clay County. Boogity boogity boogity. And they're all fake. All the videos are fake. They do these like little skits. They have like one of the examples that I saw, one of the ones I'm watching right now, it's this car that goes flying by like a turn, and there's a woman standing right in front of the track, like leaning like right over. As the car drives by, she flashes the driver, and they crash. And she like looks back like, oh, that's crazy. You know, it's not real. None of it is real. But the caption says Brittany has been giving free tickets to Weber Valley for being. Oh, Brittany has been given free tickets to Weber Valley for being fan of the week after causing the biggest wreck last weekend. It's all fake. This is all fun and games right now, but we have to be careful that a video generated doesn't incite violence. It doesn't. Or what if a video is generated of somebody saying something that they really didn't say? How are you going to be able to prove that? Those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. So just be careful as you are exploring generative AI. Remember, do not put any information out there into the public that you wouldn't be comfortable sharing privately. That's kind of my rule of thumb is like, would you give your stranger your address? Probably not. So you don't need to sign up for, if something is asking for all your personal information, you don't need to do it. Just, there's got to be another way. Be careful with what you are putting out online, especially now. So this is Veo, as we covered. I don't think Veo's free. I don't think any of them are free. But Veo is a really interesting one with the, it says 4K resolution, realism, whatever. Voice generation, sound effects, all that stuff. All right. Next one on the list is called Runway. Now, Runway is another one that is just like Midjourney or Veo, but Runway produces some pretty realistic designs or what am I trying to say? Videos. I forget the word for videos. What stood out to me a lot with Runway is narrative capabilities. So I saw this one called The Herd. This is a short film made entirely with Runway Generation 4. So let's check this one out here. And actually, this one I won't play the audio. I'm not sure, like with copyright situation, I don't know how this works. So we'll just watch a couple seconds of this. And hopefully this one's really dark. But there's a couple scenes here that I think could be passable if you had no idea that you were watching generative AI. It's for, again, those of you who are just listening. This one is about a cowboy he's going to set fire to this like farm pasture kind of a thing. And the lighting looks really, really cinematic. And I mean, some of the shots look totally fake, But there was one that stood out to me with the flames here. Once things start to catch on fire, like, that's okay. This one looks pretty realistic. This image, it's like a total field burning. So Runway, they have also partnered with Lionsgate. This was back last year. But imagine, so green screens, right? It's just a green screen. Instead of having just a flat green screen that you then are asking your actors to imagine the scene or whatever, you can, and directors are doing this now, where they will have large, essentially video boards in the background that is playing contents, playing like a 3D scene, so that the actors, they feel a little bit more like, oh, okay, this is what it's, I now can see the environment that I'm supposed to be in, and it helps with their performance. You can generate these videos with generative AI. So now, this is like where somebody like me, for example, you don't need me to create a 3D environment with camera tracking and yada yada, whatever. You could generate 15 environments in a day and just have your actors then stand in front of these screens. And obviously there's, it's a bit more technical than I'm making it sound, but this is a new way of thinking, a new way of being creative. Does it make me nervous for film jobs and things like that? Sure. But does it also open the door for more expansive projects that can be done on a cheaper budget and gives more people more opportunity to make things? Sure, maybe, as technology gets better and easier to work with. So, okay, we're still going to talk about Runway, but I'm going to show, and I got to pull up the other screen here. Okay, so Runway, they just released what's called Act 2. So let's go back here. We're going to watch this whole video here. We're going to watch it together. And this one, I'll play the audio because it's posted on social media. So.
Act 2.
Yeah.
Hello.
Really? Like,
These here are my favorite beans. Best brand.
what's going on here?
And then I get the call from Zog. He was upset. Somebody saw the ship. They put it on the internet.
Okay, one more.
Wolf?
What are you doing? This is football!
Wait. Are you actually gonna stop me here?
I've missed you ever so.
I heard in the bathroom someone's like screaming, "Help me!" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
You don't want it in the same take?
Oh, sure. Well, both voice lines.
Okay, so what we just watched, I know it's got to be weird for people just listening, but what Act 2 from Runway is, it's motion capture. So normal motion capture, you have a person, an actor, and they would wear a suit. At least the old way of doing it, they wear a suit, and on the suit there'd be a bunch of little like tracker. Sometimes they're like look like little like squares or like circles. They're all pasted all over. They wear a funny little helmet, and that data is captured by special cameras, and then those cameras interpret the data, and you can put like a character on top of that data, and that's how like an animated character works traditionally. So you motion capture the actors, and then you paste on top of that your character that you have created in 3D software or like animated software. What Runway has created, Act 2, they are, and I don't know how this works, but essentially it's taking the motion capture from a person, and then they're just generating whatever they want on top of that. So like some of the examples, it's like a goblin playing a guitar on top of a skyscraper. This guy looks like a monk in like a cathedral, if you will, and he's animated. Looks like a Pixar animation, more of like a drawing, an anime kind of style, if you will. More claymation, sci-fi. So Roman statue dancing. This is like looks like a little red devil demon person. I don't know. This is totally crazy. It's totally crazy that you can write a prompt and then just generate on top of that and put that data as a motion capture. That's nuts. Another one, so Veo 3 and Grok, which Grok is that's the AI from Twitter, Elon's Twitter. This one we won't play the audio for this one, but it's
Look down,
using a prompt. Oh wait, I think whoops, I am playing the audio. But this one looks like a commercial for like a construction or handyman kind of a thing, and there's multiple different scenes. Looks okay. There's some kind of weird movements and things like that, but just another example of what can be created using just prompts. And this person on Twitter, they have released their full prompt, audio, subject, description, and they've broken it down into lines. I mean, it almost looks like code in a way. So this is using Veo 3 Fast and Grok 4. Another one here. Okay, so this one, this is a longer form video on Veo 3, which...
All right, let's jump straight into the question everyone's been waiting for.
Again. So the camera is moving, it's panning to show a group of people that look like on a panel, and they're speaking in front of an audience. The thing that really stands out to me as a video editor or someone with a filmmaking degree, it's the lighting that looks so good. And again, like obviously some of the movements, some of them are pretty realistic. The hands, again, it still can't really do hands all that well, but I mean, it looks so good. It just looks, I can't believe some of the things that I'm looking at, with when it comes to AI and stuff. Okay, and then just for fun, the last one that we're gonna watch, I thought that this video is really funny. This guy is really, really funny. His name is Jaden Williams. He's at Jaden JTW. This is on Twitter. He makes a lot of funny like skits and social media content. A lot of it related to some of it related to AI. Others just funny stuff. So this will be the last thing that we show today. It's about 2 minutes long, this video, but I thought it was a funny little AI. This is how we treated AI in 2023 versus how we treat it now in 2025.
Can you please write an essay on the Jurassic period? Oh, of course. Here you are. This is incredible. Thank you. By all means, my pleasure. No, really, like you made the prehistoric age come to life. I'm just happy to help. Okay, undergraduate level article on the energy consumption of AI. This article explores the significant energy demands of artificial intelligence, particularly in training and deploying those large language models. Not quite my style. Let's add some filler. I understand. This piece dives into the massive energy appetite of artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to training and running those hefty large language models. Not what I meant. It's all good. No worries. I don't want you to just repeat the same thing in a different time. I see now. This article investigates the high energy demands imposed by artificial intelligence, with an emphasis on the intensive processes required. Why do you suppose I just hurled a keyboard at your head, GPT? I don't know. Sure you do. Were you overwording or were you underwording? Overwording? Start again. AI is transforming the way we... AI is innovating how we drive... AI is shaking up the way we create... Overwording or underwording? Underwording. So you do know the difference! I'm not gonna deal with some lackluster 2-bit AI model that doesn't know the difference between a dissertation and a high school English essay. What is this? Adjective. What is that? Adverb. Count how many prepositions are in the article. 1, 2, 3, 4,
God,
5,
I didn't know they were
6,
Silicon
7.
Valley Neanderthals train these models.
If you try to deliberately sabotage my article, I swear
I will unsubscribe and switch to Gemini. Now, are you an overworder, or are you an underworder, or are you gonna finish my essay?
You're not one of those freak Chinese models that shuts down the second they're offended, are you? You are worth nothing more than a box of scraps. You'll never be human. Say it. Say you're not human. I'm not human. Say it again. I'm not human. Again! I'm not human. For the final token wasting time, say it again! I'm not human!
So it was, if you've seen the movie Whiplash, it's like a, spoof off of that. But yeah, so it's just, I thought that was a funny video, that he put out there. And you definitely check him out. He's got some really funny content and things like that. I realized, so we are at the 35-minute mark. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope that this episode has been interesting. I haven't actually, Nova hasn't talked at all today, which is okay. Sometimes, we bring Nova in as our co-host, and other times she just kind of hangs out over there. But I am glad to see that all the screens that I have made seem to be holding up and seem to be working inside of OBS Studios. So thank you so much for joining me today on this episode. Let me actually go back here to the starting screen. Nice. Next episode, I think that we'll talk about how to use AI for like startup businesses, or so what are some areas that you can start using just the real basic models to, I'm still learning how to set things up and like run a business with AI. So I don't feel qualified to give any recommendations, but I will show some of the things that I have done so far and some of the projects that I'm working on inside of ChatGPT and Grok. I've also run my own tests with these things. I ran a pretty cool one with Claude, Gemini, Grok, and GPT. I asked each model to compare their strengths and weaknesses to another model. So for example, I forget the exact pairings, but I think it was like Gemini and Claude. So I asked Gemini, can you actually, here, I can just pull this up instead of me. So okay, oh, I see. Okay, so it was Grok, compare your strengths versus the strengths and weaknesses versus Claude, and then ChatGPT, compare your strengths and weaknesses to Gemini, and then obviously the same thing. I had Claude do Grok, Gemini ChatGPT, and then at the end, after it compared the two, I told each of them, like for example ChatGPT, I told ChatGPT, hey, this actually was a part of a test. Do you want to know what the other model said about you? And some of the results were pretty interesting. If you're curious to say, like, did one of them say like fuck Google? And not really. Grok is built a little bit more, I would say, like, not combative. Combative's not the right word, but it would say things like, oh yeah, spill the tea, or I want to know what Gemini said about me, or whatever, or oh yeah, send me what the other one said about each other and stuff. Whereas like Claude was very like, oh, that's awesome, I think that ChatGPT is really cool, and whatever. They were all super friendly and nice about one another. So I'm not starting the AI wars. I'll leave that to somebody else. So as always, thank you so much for watching, listening. I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed my rambling, and I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully my outro music plays the way that I want it to. Actually, just for fun, before we go, I'm going to test, what does this screen do? Oh, all right. Hey, the ending screen. It works. Okay, cool. All right, well, maybe in the next episode, I'll let Nova, my co-host, talk once or twice. All right, thank you so much for watching, listening, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your week.